tell me if I'm not speaking loud enough and stuff like that. Also, like feel free like to ask like any questions. That's most important. So me and my team were deployed like on October 7th for the past 3 months on the Gaza border. It was like our last Shabbat, and then we had to move back to the north. And it was like 6:30 in the morning. Everybody was awake, brushing our teeth, nothing too special. And then suddenly like a huge explosion, and you realize like really quickly you realize that's weird because that's Shabbat, so there is no training, there is nothing, and it was so strong. Like everything was shaking. So you like just go outside, like look at the sky, and you saw like hundreds, thousands of rockets like just flying towards Israel. And you just get to the armored vehicle. It's like a shelter, so you can stay there. And we've been there for like 3-4 minutes, and then there's the girls that their job is like to look at the border and to call you if something is going on, if they're about to like go towards the border. And they're like 18, 19, and she called us and she was like crying and freaking out, like saying that I can see like 2 terrorists inside this kibbutz, and I see like so many going towards the border. I have no idea what to do, and it's like okay, just calm down, and we will get there. And took like 2-3 minutes just to get our gear and get ready, get all the team ready. After 2 minutes of driving, like there is the Hamas have their drones when they drop their bombs on just dropping bombs from far away. So they saw armored vehicle from far away, just dropped their bomb on armored vehicle, like huge explosion. Nobody understand what's going on, like looking on each other confused, like. And then everybody was okay, nothing really happened to the armored vehicle, so you like keep going, like 3 minutes till you like reach the junction when you see the border, and you just see like huge hole inside the border, and the border is like 3 meters high, and just like you can't believe what you see, and you see like hundreds, like tens if not hundreds of terrorists like just going towards Israel, like crossing the border, just sitting like in your armored vehicle, like so confused and like just in shock, like you're not like just like איך אומרים כאילו עובד על אוטומטי כזה.
You work on automatically.
Yeah, like you don't think, just do. And like our driver, his instinct was like try to like just like run them over. And as soon like as we saw that we were going towards them, they launched like 5 RPGs at the first 5 minutes, and so the armored vehicle completely got shut down, and like you're just imagine stuck in a box. Like we were 11 people, and you see hundreds of terrorists just surrounding you, and just sit there helplessly. And there's like no two-way radio, everything shuts down, like no way to contact the outside world, no signal, nothing. And they start like climbing on the armored vehicle, getting like in close, like way closer than I see to you. Like you can see face to face from the cameras, and you look them in the eyes, and you see like how drugged they were. Like you saw their eyes like almost like popping outside of their face. And me and my friend, we were sitting, and above us there's like 2 circles that you can get out of, like doors. So we were like pushing it down. They were trying to like open it. So it's like fighting of pushing. And like sometimes they like throw a grenade and then run away. So like you gotta hold the door and like just pray that your hands won't fly away. And I was speaking to Sam before that, and I was 20 when that was. And like I just got the two-way radio and it wasn't working. And like as a 20 years old, like you're saying to like we are surrounded, we are about to die, like send some help, and like on the other side of the phone, like nobody's answering, and that's like we felt so helpless there, and like so weak, and like there is nothing you can do, just like sitting inside a box watching hundreds of terrorists keep going towards Israel, second waves coming on motorcycles, and you just couldn't do anything. And hour and a half later, most of the terrorists already, luckily they began to invade deeper to Israel, and we were like right on the border. So that was pretty good for us because they wanted to like take over the kibbutz, take over the base, so they went deeper. And like 4 or 5 terrorists like just waited for us to get out, so they managed to kill us. And we managed like hour and a half later just like drive 200 meters towards the base. Then like the vehicle got shut down like completely, no electricity, no air conditioning, like nothing is working. And it was like 30 minutes of like quiet, like you couldn't hear anything from outside, like not shooting, no airplanes, nothing. And suddenly, like 40 minutes later, it was like 8:30 in the morning, and we got like suddenly like a signal from the two-way radio, like another girl, she was calling, like I could see like a guy climbs on the armored vehicle from the front, and one is going underneath, and I don't know, someone from outside managed to like kill the guy, went from above, and one went underneath. Nobody knew what's going on there. Like 15 minutes later, a huge explosion right underneath my seat. Like I just flew to the right side on my friends, and like everybody just like flew to the right side, and everybody's so confused because it was such a huge explosion. Like you can see the flames like underneath, and like I have this like small ramp or something, and so it was the moment of the explosion. It was like something like here, so I was just like looking, and I was like with the adrenaline you couldn't really feel anything. It was like right, I broke my leg, like I just broke it, like I got hit with the yeah, okay, no worries. And so like 15 minutes later, they saw I was bleeding, so they put my first tourniquet like right here. And all those moments, like all of these hours, like we agreed that they are not gonna look at my leg, because if they will look and they will make a face, like I will know what's going on there, and being in that situation, freaking out won't help. And like after like 30 minutes, they saw that I was still bleeding, got another tourniquet on, and just for the record, like when you train in the army with tourniquets on, you put it like for 20, 30-second max, because it's so painful. Like imagine just stopping the blood from getting to your leg. So it was like almost an hour later, and at that moment like the adrenaline came off, and I forgot to mention, but soon like as the explosion happened, to the right side, then came back and saw that there is a small hole in the door on the left. So like just grabbed my gun, like started shooting aside, like managed to get two of the terrorists, then became quiet again, and then what's happened. And it was so funny, because like, it's not funny, but like I was in such a shitty situation, like it's barely any chance to survive, and you're like trying to find like some optimistic way to survive, and trying to find a reason like to not like just give up. So I was like just like taking my phone out, like I took a selfie there. I will show you in a minute. And I was like, it was like for two reasons: either for so I can laugh about it with my friends later, and I don't know how you think about that in this situation. And like second option was like if they manage to kill us or something, that someone will have the last memory, the last cover. So I'll show you the photo. You can pass it around. It was like with a lot of pain. So then it's been like around like 9:30, 9:15. And like they managed to tell us that rescue team is on the way. It's gonna be alright. Just keep holding on. And that was like almost an hour with two tourniquets on. So you're just dying to rip it off. And like you are trying to find reasons to keep going, to not give up, to not letting go. And you get to the reason that you understand that the chances you are dying are like very likely to die. So there was a moment like I was like getting my phone out, and like you have like write goodbye message like friends and family, and you like get your phone out, and like you are shaking because you are not believing what you are writing. Like, it's like I love you dad, I love you mom, like goodbye and friends. smart dude. You just sit there and you start to feel like shit, like I'm writing goodbye messages now, and like but I'm just 20 years old. That can be happening. Like I have like so much to achieve. Like I dream so much. I want to achieve so many things, but you are so likely to die in that situation, and you start to think about like stuff that was like terrible thoughts. Like, is it going to hurt? Like thinking about if they open the door and they're gonna take you as a hostage. Is it better to like just kill yourself in that moment? Is it better just to shoot yourself? You just start to pray that if they manage to somehow get you. Just make it quick, just like hopefully they will kill us quickly. And I think around 12:30, 12:45, that's like 4 hours after I got injured, and that's already 6 hours of us inside this armored vehicle stuck there. And lost a lot of blood, so you start to get really dizzy, and for hours you think about always our officer like try to call some help, and he's like yelling, I have a injured soldier in a critical condition, like we have to get a rescue team right now, and no one is answering, no one is, it's like there is no hope. And around 1, like a single tent came, just climbed on our armored vehicle, opened the doors, and was like, we have to get out now, like there is no time. And just for you to know, like in a single tent there's room for like 3, maybe 4 people, and we were eventually around 14 people inside. And I was there like with the tourniquets on, and like it was an open fracture, and like everything like was shattered there, and just laying on each other there. And you can see that at that moment you can see that people look at your leg, and you saw their face reaction, and it was like my leg is gone, like you start to accept it. And the first moment that you get out of the armored vehicle, like it's a different reality from when you like enter the armored vehicle. Like explosion everywhere, and it's probably because I got out like so dizzy, like you could barely see anything. Um, you just hear the bullets like flying through your face, and like in slow motion, like in a movie. You don't understand what's going on. You just climbing on the armored vehicle, then dropping yourself to get in attack for like 2 meters high. You don't think in those moments. And then they took us to the nearest base, which is like 10 minutes of driving, and all the way to the base there was like fire exchanging, and everybody is closing their eyes, and there's one guy that operates the gun, and everybody is praying that he will keep shooting, like just keep shooting, keep driving, like. And then they got us to the nearest base. They gave me some painkillers eventually. Didn't help at all, and that was, I think that's the hardest part that I skipped. It was like only at 6:30 in the morning. That was the first time like I text my dad like something going on, the shooting above us. Then disappeared, like not talking at all, like. And when I wrote them the goodbye messages, it was like 9:30, but there was no signal, so they haven't get the message at all. And only at around 1:15 they suddenly got a message. And think about that, from like 6:30 in the morning, all of Israel is basically awake, like seeing what's going on there. And my parents know that I'm like on the Gaza border, and they see on Telegram videos of tanks getting burned, people getting kidnapped, soldiers dying there. And my dad told me that he was sure that I was there. Like he just prayed that I won't be a hostage there. And as soon as you get outside of the armored vehicle, just take them just remember getting super dizzy, barely can type, and just texting injured. My dad injured, hospital in Ashkelon. That's it. And when eventually we got there, I would share that we picked another doctor on the way to the hospital, and he said how many hours have you been with the tourniquet on? I don't know, since 8:30. It was already 1:30, so it was basically 5 hours. So that's very very close to getting your leg cut off. And he said that it's up to the doctors in the hospital. I don't know what to tell you. And you just sit there and just trying to get to the safety for after 7 hours. And when you get to the hospital, they gave me some very good drugs. So I fell asleep quickly. Woke up. Is there a leg there? Asking the doctor, and he said yeah, everything is fine. But there was a big chaos in that hospital in the south, because so many injured people coming, and only the one that had to get surgery now was gonna stay there. So they passed us to Tel Aviv, and that's the first time when I saw parents and family and friends, and there were no walls, we were crying inside the room with the surgeons and the doctors. It was nobody knew what's going on. It was so crazy. The October 7th, in Israel, because it's such a small country, you feel everybody knows someone that somehow got affected from the attack. And, personally for me, not the way that I got injured or when and the way that I got injured. The hardest part was the morning after. In the army, you train for everything. You train to get injured, you train how to take care of it, but the loss of friends, that's something that you never, you can't imagine that. So it was Sunday morning, a day later, just open up the news, and he was reporting live from the south, and it was the newest list of people you can say that eventually, unfortunately, haven't survived. Then he says a list of names, and then it's a name I know, it's a name I know. I've been serving with him for 2 years, and I have been his commander, and that's a friend from home. And that's the moment at the hospital that's you just let loose. You just break down, no control, crying for 3 hours, and the hardest phone call I ever did was 10 seconds phone call when I called a guy I was commanding on, and we were talking on Saturday night when I was in the hospital, and she was so confused because her son died. He died on October 7th, but they didn't know until midnight on October 7th. And we've been speaking at evening, what's going on, how are you? And then she is also my dentist, so we were really close. And then I got injured, so she started freaking out, and she also freaking out because she doesn't know what's going on with her son. And so 8 in the morning, I see the reporter saying his name, and I just freeze, heartbreak. It's hard to explain to me. First thing calling, first 3 seconds, no one is talking, and just screaming and yelling, and you could feel the pain in her voice, and there is no words, there is nothing you can say. And I've been 3 months hospitalized in the hospital, and then another half a year day rehab, and you start to realize you see the names, you see their age, 18, 19, 20, they are all kids that you've seen so family torn apart. It's hard to explain in words, because I don't know, nothing in the world can compare, to make you ready to go through that. My unit lost, my brigade lost 39 soldiers. Personally, I knew between 10 and 20, and between 5 and 10 I've been spending the last 2 years together, and suddenly feels yesterday, you've been laughing there is no tomorrow, and then you're visiting in the grave. they're like kids like you, and somehow like I was talking to my dad like, and that was like the first time I was seeing him crying, and he says that he doesn't know if he wants to, he doesn't know if he should be like happy or sad because so many people died, so many people that we know died, and we saw like family get torn apart, and we were so close to go through that also, but eventually I just really like feel like I got my life back, like in a gift, like because our situation getting out of there alive was like, it was close to zero. I don't know like how we managed to get out of there alive, but then you realize like how your life can change in a second, and how you really don't have control about it, and being there for hours you think about all of the things like you really wanted to do, like you really wanted to achieve, and like something was stopping you, and then when you get to that moment like you like realize that like it's all could be ending right now, and you realize about the things that you stop you from doing things, and you realize how small it is. So that's like for you if you have something that you are not, you are afraid to do or not, I don't know, can build the courage to do that. That's like everything is it's so mental, and just like get it off my chest, like as a 21 years old, like dealing with losing so many friends, and going through stuff like myself, I don't think I like fully understand what's going on, like every time like thinking about those people that died and friends that died, and it doesn't feel real, like I don't know, that's a really fucked up reality, but if you have like any questions, like feel free, like any like craziest questions, I like love to answer everything.